The picture I used for the post today, it's a picture of my son looking out the window. And in order to get it, it was actually really bright when I first took the picture. I could see it how my eyes saw it, but I wanted it more silhouette. And the window was framing him just perfectly. And so to add to the composition and kind of get the feel of like his view out the window, I didn't focus on the back of his head, so I focused on the window. That made it so that my son was silhouetted. But you could manipulate the light that way. And I liked the composition of the lines of the window with my kid looking at it. It was simple, but still to me kind of told a story. And it's cute because he loves to look out the window. And over the holidays when people had all their Christmas lights up, he would wake up every morning and they're still on. And he was so happy. So it was a cute little thing. It may not mean, like, you got to remember all the photos you take won't have the same gravity and importance to maybe a few other people as they might to you. But again, that's where it comes in, like knowing what you want and knowing how to get it, and seeing those moments as they happen, because I know my kid's going to look out the window. He does it in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you brought up another really good point, which is that composition isn't just the background and the foreground. It's also the light. You know, it's how can you play with the light to create
it's everything. It's all the ingredients.
It's all of that. And we'll get into more of these kind of nitty-gritty details. For now, we just want you to think about it. But think about, light does contribute to composition. Your background, your foreground, your framing, lines in the photos. I mean, there's so many things that go into it. And again, the very basic part of that is just thinking about it. Just thinking about what you like, paying attention. And that actually brings us to our last point, which is, when you're doing composition, you may have a certain way that you like to photograph. Like maybe you like taking pictures of your kids as they look up to you, and you're looking down and you take a picture of them, and that's cute, right? But don't be afraid to change it up. Don't be afraid to change your viewpoint. Like get down on their level and take a picture straight on. Get below them so you're shooting up at them and they're looking down at the photo. Don't be afraid to like go around in a 360 circle around them and take pictures of different backgrounds and things. Every little change that you make when you're taking a photo will impact the photo. It will change the composition, and you'll get a better feel for what you like and what you don't like when you're doing that, and I think that is also a really important basic skill, is just being aware that you can change your viewpoint. I know when I first started taking pictures, I felt like I was just rooted in one spot, and I had to take pictures, and maybe I could go up and down, but I couldn't really like move side to side or, change location of where I was in reference to my subject completely. And now I know that I can, there's nothing stopping me. I can, have Tot right here, and then he goes run, and then I can, run in front of him and take a picture and get down on my knees, or, get down on the ground and take a picture shooting up. Like there's so many possibilities. But just being able to change your viewpoint and knowing that you can change your viewpoint, I think also makes a big difference.
Yeah, and this can kind of seem overwhelming. Don't get too caught up in if you've listened on our other Q&A lives, we have talked about some other tips. If you're trying to implement those and like it might seem overwhelming, like, well, my kid's running around, how am I going to run circles around them and get them to look up or look down? It's just like, well, one, you know how to bribe them and get them to do what you want. Two, again, this is actually my number one tip above bribing them, is make it a game. I don't care. Put stickers on your phone. If they can't help but look at it, sometimes I vouch for catching those candid moments and making sure that they don't see you. But if that can't be helped because you're trying to interact with them and get them to do something, make it fun.
So that's something we're going to say, and you're going to hear us say over and over and over and over again, because I think it's so important when taking pictures of your kiddos, is that you need to have fun. Like not only do your kids have to have fun in order to get great photos, but you, the parent, the photographer, need to be having fun too, because, the more stressed out you are and the more tight and tense and like, hey, no, don't do that. The more you get like that, the more your kids aren't going to participate, and you're going to get, really not great photos that you're not going to like.
Go for their expression first, and then light, and then worry about the composition.
Yes.
And the composition will come as you get more practice. Don't be too hung up if you don't know what you like or don't like. Most people, I feel like, know intuitively what they want, and they kind of shoot that way once they have the awareness of what is contributing to what they do and don't like in their photos. And so just be aware of that. That will come. as you practice, and you'll realize what you can do. Or our couch is dark brown, and the back of it's taller than it is
wide
of the seat that you sit on, and so it kind of works as a really great clean backdrop. I've actually used it for several photo shoots, even with adults, just because it's clean. It's a clean background, and so look for little things like that. It doesn't have to be, you know, fancy stand in front of this drape, or maybe they are standing in front of a drape. Just kind of look for what you like, or
be creative.
Yeah.
Use what you have around you. You know, if you have a simple wall that catches a great light from a window, use that. If you have a favorite toy that your kid likes to use that. You know, if you have a great backyard with wonderful trees and, you know, beautiful scenery and stuff, use that. I mean, just use whatever you have available to you, and be creative. You know, again, it's about having fun. Be creative, try different things. And if you find a composition in a style that you do like, don't be afraid to keep changing it up. Don't be afraid to keep, don't be afraid to try new things, even when you found something that you like, because the more you continue doing that, the better you're going to get.
Yep.
So thank you so much for joining us, and I think that's it. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, just one more quick reminder. Your challenge for this week until next week is just paying attention to what's behind your kid and what's in front of your kid when you take the picture, and just either moving to the side and like making adjustments based on what you like, or just taking the photo and realizing it afterwards. Sometimes you don't see what's in the photo because you're worried about capturing your kid, and that's the most important. So go for that first.